Today I got a unique specimen on the time grapher right here. You can see by that balance amplitude it's not running so good. It's running slow by 55 seconds. Let's see, 18,000 beats per hour, 48 degrees of lift angle. So what do we have here? We have 3017 Strela. This is from Mr. Oatman. He contacted me and wanted to know if I would service his clock to take a look at it and see what's going on. So there's our initial readings. Not very good as far as time grapher readings. So let's take a look what's doing. What is going on here? Well, the first thing we're going to look at is that really low balance amplitude. It is painfully low. You can just barely see it swinging there. The other thing you can see, the balance has a wobble to it. Why is that thing wobbling? I don't know. I do know the staff is tight. It has good, the proper amount of end shake. If I come in here and stop that and give it a little tweak up and down, it has the proper amount of end shake, but it still has a, let me give it a shake. That really wobbles. There's a bit of a wobble to it. It looks like the balance is out of round. I don't think it has anything to do with the staff, but I could be wrong. It could be out of round radially. Obviously, you can see by that, and also axially, it could be out of shape and binding up on the bridge. I don't know. So what I'm going to do, and if you notice right here, that pallet fork bridge is not original. I do have a replacement that Mr. Oatman sent me. So this is like a preliminary thing to see what we can do with this. Also, when you start the chrono, the minute jumper jumps to 1 minute as soon as you start it. That's an easy adjustment, at least it should be. So this is like a preliminary thing I thought some people would be interested in. Look at that serial number, 4272. It's pretty low. This is a pretty old piece. So what I want to do is just do a preliminary, like, let's take that balance out and replace that pallet fork bridge and see what is going on here. So the first thing I'm going to do, you can see the click right there. I'm going to let down this mainspring. A little bit at a time. Alright, there it is. Mainspring is let down, and I'm going to remove the balance, take a close look at that, and the hairspring. We want to see what that hairspring is doing. What's going to happen when we take this apart, we don't know. The movement is rather dirty, which obviously is going to require service. All these little specks that you see, I thought this was rust, but apparently the particles just come right off. I can hit it with a piece of Rotico and the particles come right off. I'm going to zoom out a bit. So it's not really rust, although there could be some. I'm guessing it's just dirt, just debris hanging around. Okay, there's the balance. Our balance is out, and you can see the stamping for the factory. First Moscow Watch Factory, I believe that is what that means. And you can see there's quite a bit of dirt, debris right around here, the balance jewel. This part here looks like it's handmade. It's just a piece of brass with a jewel put in it. I do have a replacement, so I'm going to take care of that first. Let's get that out of there. Let's get this back to original as as close as we can get it. I also have a replacement screw because this one does not look to be factory. If you notice, that slot is off center on the screw head. That's interesting. Okay, when you flip this over, it does look factory. Let's get a better look at that. It does look like a factory part. With that discoloration, I thought maybe it was made out of brass, but it looks like there was a modification done to it. You can see the machining marks, the file marks, the striations running through that for the brass. Why would somebody do that? Maybe it was just a part they had left over. I don't know, but I'm going to toss, well, I'm not going to toss it. I'm going to change it out. And before I do that, we're going to take a look at that pallet fork. Get a look at that. How does that pallet fork look? But inside here, we're going to clean some of that dust out of there, that dirt, whatever it is. I'm going to give the stem a little bit of a wind, and you can see the gears moving, the escape wheel moving. I'm just giving that a nudge. I'm not even using it against the click. So that tells me things are free somewhat. So let's do this. Let's take a bit of Rodico. Let's get some of that schmutz out of there. Schmutz being dirt. I'm going to come in here, get that clean. Just to get some of that out of there. So, now that that's gone, let's get a look at our pallet fork. Go ahead and get in tight here. Here's our pallet fork. Looks a little dirty, especially on the tail end there. But the important thing, I want to, let's see, I can't even see it. I want to see the jewels are lined up. Let's come in tight. The jewels are lined up on the same plane, and the staff is good. So we don't have a problem with that other than it's dirty. You can see some gack and schmutz hanging off the jewels, a little hair, a little dirt. Everything is dirty. This is a pretty dirty movement. I'm going to give that a quick clean. Look how dirty that is. My oh my. So there's an indication that this needs a good service. Let's put that down. Now let's come to the balance. I'm going to turn that over. I'm out of the shot right now. And I think I see where the wobble is coming from, why we have an issue here. Let's get it in the shot. This is out of focus. Very good. Genius. Alright, take a look at that. Oh my. Man, oh Shevitz. We have, first of all, this discoloration here and across here. It looks like it is a soldered piece. Soldered together. For what purpose, I don't know. But here's an interesting thing. Look at that split. Right there. This is split to fit on here. It looks like a repair job. That's what this was. It was a repair job. A bad repair job, only because it doesn't have good balance amplitude. It doesn't swing. It has that wobble. Something's binding up somewhere. The hairspring, if you look closely, believe me, I'm no expert on repairing hairsprings, but I know one that's out of shape when I see it. This isn't too bad, but it's bad enough. If you look in this portion here, there's a couple of kinks out of shape coming through the indexer. Not perfect, but it's still. The coils are concentric. There is gap between the coils. Nothing is stuck together. And if you notice on this edge over here, this discoloration, it's very similar to what's happening over here. To get this to work real nice, we're going to need a balance. We're going to need a balance assembly to get this to operate properly. Having that split right there, this was really an attempt at a repair job. Did it work? Technically it did, because the clock does tick. It does have some timekeeping ability. As poor as it is, to say, yeah, it's good or it's perfect, it's not. But it, you know, if you were to sell a timepiece saying, hey, it's ticking, it must be good. I don't know how Mr. Oatman wants to proceed with this, but I will contact him to let him know there is some serious issues here. The staff, let's get a look at that staff. Let's come around here. The balance staff on that end looks decent. So the staff isn't wore out, however the jewels might be. In this view, you can see some of that solder holding that on to the staff in that center arbor. I'm going to come back here. I'm out of the picture, out of the shot now. I'm going to take a look at this through a loop to look at the other side. The jewel looks pretty good on the bridge side, and the staff on the bridge side looks decent as well. So we have some issues. I'm going to put this back together after cleaning some of that dust out, and I'll let Mr. Oatman know that we have a few issues, and he will advise me on how to proceed. Doing a complete service on this will get it clean. Yes, absolutely, it'll get it clean, but it's not going to perform any better with that funky balance hairspring assembly the way it looks. Like I said, a repair job, but not great. So stay tuned for an update.